Good morning. Today I'm going to be presenting on LeBron James. I didn't choose him because he's the leader of a multi-billion-dollar company or the leader of a nation, but rather because I think that he has taken a place in our society that needed to be addressed, and he's addressed it in a way that was dynamic and fresh and just new. And I think it is important to highlight somebody when they have changed something that perhaps maybe the rest of the world didn't see needed to be changed or didn't feel like that they could step up and change it. LeBron James arrived on the sports scene at the tender age of 16. He was born in Akron, Ohio. He was the only son of a single mom, and most would have counted him out at the very beginning. However, LeBron James had something that no one else had, and that was the ability to become one of the most dynamic NBA stars that the world had ever seen. LeBron was coming up just as Michael Jordan was exiting the scene, and the sports world was desperate for somebody to replace that stardom. LeBron was that and so much more. He wasn't a carbon copy of MJ. Rather, he brought his own version of the game, his own personality, and he definitely brought his worldviews openly with him. LeBron has embraced the stardom. He even got the chosen one tattooed across his back. However, it isn't his basketball expertise, openness to stardom, or even his untainted reputation after 20 years in the media that has set him apart from NBA's greats. Rather, it is the fact that he has openly embraced his heritage and he has set the tone for being a different sort of star. Evaluate the leader's ethical foundation and motivation. LeBron has clearly stated that he wants to be a billionaire. Bonder has in 2018. He has also been very clear that he is chasing the ghost of Michael Jordan with the end goal of being named the greatest NBA star of all time. However, his leadership on the court is not what I'm interested in. I'm not really a sports fan. Rather, it's his leadership off the court. His motivation is his family and the rights and safety of other African Americans that don't have the same opportunities that he has been afforded. In May of 2017, LeBron was preparing for yet another finals appearance in the NBA when a racial epitaph was painted on the front of his LA residence. His response to this event gave listeners insight into what motivates his behavior and activism off the court. He says, quote, "No matter how much money you have, no matter how famous you are, no matter how many people admire you, being Black in America is tough." Capolia in Bromwich, 2017. The pain behind those words speaks volumes into the motivation of the speaker. And I'm sorry about the light, but every single room in my house has windows except for the bathroom, and I wasn't doing a video in there. An example of an abuse of power would be if he had called on his fans to do something radical or inappropriate in the name of the causes that he believes in, or say if he had asked for a very violent demonstration in light of the racial epitaph that was put on his house. He has a large enough fan base that if he wanted to have organized a rally and promoted violence, it probably would have happened. Many would argue that his current activism and use of stardom to talk politics is already an abuse of power, such as Fox News talk show host Laura Ingraham, who famously told LeBron and a friend to just shut up and dribble with him 2018. If his activism turned from peaceful methods to violent ones, he would likely have lost his career and endorsements. This would mean that he loses his source of money. With this already in place, this is the strategy, or it is the check and balance that keeps somebody like LeBron in check to make it so he doesn't choose to turn to a more violent method to raise awareness. He has reached the point where he makes enough money that he feels the freedom to speak on things that might alienate potential fans, people that would buy his products, but the threat of losing that source of income would most likely keep him from doing anything that's actually illegal. And because of his placement in society, if he were to do something illegal, he would be arrested. Sports stars have often ridden this fine line between trying to appease the masses, build their brand, and help their fellow man. LeBron is paving this new way where he doesn't feel the need to mince his words or step on eggshells to avoid offending a prospective customer. Black athletes have been involved politically for years. This is nothing new. But what LeBron has done is pioneered a way to be politically involved without it affecting his brand financially. Ratchford, 2012. While many sports stars are considered heroes by many children, LeBron has actually done something that has changed the course of sports and activism, and in my opinion, forever. Kellerman, in her section on hero leadership, posed the question, can one man or woman single-handedly change the course of events? It would appear so because LeBron has found a way to balance his career and activism in a way that has arguably never been done before. Specific examples would be getting his team to all wear black hoodies in honor of Trayvon Martin, or the time when he worked out wearing a shirt that said "I can't breathe" in honor of Eric Gardner, Combs and Castillo, 2017. His biggest monetary contribution, and this is a perfect example of putting your money where your mouth is, came when he helped build a school for at-risk youth called the I Promise School in Akron, Ohio. Still get 2018. He has given multiple interviews defending the importance of the athlete's voice and the responsibility of athletes that athletes have to pave the way for others. What cannot get missed in his legacy, beyond his basketball game, beyond his titles and championship experiences, is that LeBron changed the expectation for young black athletes coming into the league. He has kept an almost unbelievably spotless reputation. He's built an empire. He has become one of the most well-spoken leaders of our time, yet he was the son of a struggling single mom, raised in the inner city, and he didn't go to college. Plus, he's had the spotlight on him since he was 16 years old. That's leadership. He's not someone who has done all of these great things in a country. He's not a national political leader, but he has raised awareness for key things that affects him, that affects his family, that affects his community, and he's done it peacefully. And that's what makes him such a great leader. He's treated the people around him equally. In Kellerman's theory of leadership, it states that the leader, the people, and the situation have to be treated as equals. As much as he can do that as an NBA star, he's done that. He hasn't put people below him down. When the racial epitaph was placed on his door, he didn't treat it as just an isolated event for just him. He showed how that affected his people in the country that he lives in, and he used that as an opportunity to raise awareness for everybody that has gone through the situation that he's going through. And that's what makes him such a great leader. I used 7 different references, one of which was specifically on Kellerman. 2 were from different sports areas that would just give a brief history of LeBron James so that we understood where he was coming from, what his motivations are, what his history is. And then the rest of them came from the peer-reviewed Ashford Library, as far as just having a conversation of Black athletes or athletes in general in social media and activism, kind of ones that compared the greats such as Michael Jordan with LeBron James and just how their methods differed.